Hello, I'm John Tate, a software engineer from a small town in Australia, right near Hazelwood, the former site of the dirtiest power station in the world. The demolition, for people who lived far closer to that, was like a fucking earthquake. Actually had a seismic thing, but it was a bit different from an earthquake because it started from on top of the ground rather than under it, because here in Australia we don't have a fault line, we have shit falling to bits under us. Anyway, I want to talk about apprenticeships. Apprenticeships, yeah. So in Australia, many years ago in the 50s, Australia's post-war boom, a lot of people had come over from Europe, from Germany, from Italy, from Greece, from Spain. England were already a bunch of entitled little bastards, and I'll get to that later, but their families would often buy their kids apprenticeships. I'm about old boilermakers that are in their 60s now and 70s and all kinds of tradies. Tradies is an Australian word for tradesmen. Yeah, you know what they are. Yeah. So anyway, these bloody apprentices, their parents have paid for them to have the apprenticeship. They get to learn more and stuff, and anyway, they do good and actually learn. The masters that are teaching them the trade, you know, they're being paid to teach them. And it's a business, and they get taught really well. And Australia's now a country with a huge skill shortage statistically. The economists are just, because, yeah, all we can do now is import people from other countries, once again, like it's the 50s, and the country had the population of fucking Norway. Anyway, to get to the point, that dirty power station, one of the biggest ones built at the time, before Loy Yang and Yallourn near here, which Yallourn's technically a bit smaller, it's modern like Loy Yang. Loy Yang's freaking huge, I saw it the other day. To get to the point, apprentices these days get paid from the person. The boss has to hire someone, so the apprentices just do mundane tasks, they're not really learning a skill properly and doing it well, and, you know, it's just fucking sad. So basically in Australia, people vote Labor to have entitlement and help mongs, and fucking the Prime Minister's mum needs help or something. I think she's dead, but somehow she still costs money. And so the kids get let down and everything's shit, and they should get a big paycheck and minimum wage and don't learn anything. And when you have a job and you're learning well, and they see that and you make connections, you fucking impress people. My dad's a hot rodder. It's a bit different. I worked for him for free a lot as a kid. I could MIG weld like a mad cunt and stuff. I'm pretty good at soldering. I had a bit gimpus actually with my hands. It was terrible handwriting. I had to hold a pen like a calligraphy pen and draw a nice straight line in a circuit diagram. I had electronics, I learned software at home. Because I'm privileged, I'm a bit upper middle class, and the other kids, they might have shit computers to do the same things and the freedom of a computer system. It's an amazing thing that rich people brought us. And yeah, and I really let kids down with, oh, go get a job and flip burgers. And I'll tell you something, there was this guide on 4chan back when I was young about getting a job, and I'll tell you anything about that. You have to wear a hat, it's not a real job. I remember a really good job as sort of like a writing, an email secretary, writes. I'm not even perfect, it was a printing business or something, but it took too long for me to get there. I got lost, I broke down crying, I didn't end up at the end of the interview. I was really sad, it's such a good job. They're not common. Another job I nearly got was a place called Salesforce, and the first interview was a few managers there. One's got me in through the recruiters. I found on Seek or some shit. Asked me this question, there's a group interview, so all these people want to be salesmen, which is weird bogan from the country. I didn't have a chance, and I was like, would you lie to sell something? I don't know, I really know how to sell something. What's truth? I said. I hadn't gotten into these ideas yet I talk about on this channel. I didn't really give a fuck about truth for a long time. I had a cool chick called Janie, but anyway. Yeah, and people just shit all over kids with entitlements. And that's the Labor Party, and the Liberals just eat it up. The Conservatives just whatever Liberals are doing 30 years ago, and been doing it about that long, and it's just killing the country, and everything's getting expensive. America's from using in places where there's lots of trades and stuff to learn, like Texas. They can't buy fast food, places closed, they can't hire anyone, they got better jobs. Maybe there's some fucking city ordinance in that bloody place, America, and you can't have a fucking touchscreen checkout or something. I don't know, I'll find a way around that. Fun thing with laws, just rambling on here in this one, it's not part of my Monopoly of Opinion series I'm making. Fun thing about laws, have a fucking old tally type terminal, get that on eBay, plug it in with RS232, people enter in their orders, they type it in, I don't know. Yes. If you want to learn and you want to learn a skill, learn to code. Open source, free, peer-reviewed, open source code. It's got scientific integrity, dependencies you can use. You can be shit at things for ages. You can go and stack it change when you have a good conceptual question someone actually answers. You can Google a lot of the conceptual things. You just fucked up, you made a typo, you don't use a forum. I'm an old kind of been coding for years. Sometimes I'll be a bit fried. I've had way too much coffee today. I haven't used drugs for a long time, years. But I've had too much coffee and I'm just staying awake. I have to be up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. But anyway, learn to code, right? Yeah, don't do an apprenticeship. You'll just be fucking, like, you'll want to be an electrician, all you do is bend conduit for people because you have to be doing so for money to earn it. Just sit around, do open source, scam a pension, be a welfare queen, call your dad, borrow, get loans, call your mate, get loans. Fucking hustle shit if you can. I can't talk about that much here, but like hustling shit. I like Rick Ross a bit. The bridge separates their Morwell from my Morwell. It's I can't remember the name, something of the creek, this little bridge over it between my half. I'm sort of a nice part of it, shit down. The other side's all crackheads and stuff. Go down Commercial Road, more. If you'll go up on Google Maps, there's fucking cunts covered in ash. They wipe the black off their gear pipes and so much fucking meth they got in it on their shirts and shit, and so they're covered in ash. And they always need a fucking ciggy. I have like 1 million ciggies. I'm like a cigarette gangster. I can't talk about it too much, but no one cares. Monopoly on opinion. Ramblings of the insane. No, I've just had too much coffee. I'm not really a crazy person. I'm well medicated, but Yeah, learning to code. You just sit around and install Linux, use weird software, fuck around. Linux is a shit heap on the desktop. It fucking drives me crazy. It isn't cool shit though. If like 1 billion terminals open, Cwin, WSL2, Putty, SSH on Windows just sucks because Windows developers just don't know what a good terminal is. I like fucking millions of terminals open. I make this shit on the Android phone. Might die on me while I'm making the video. Yeah. And my teeth are a bit gimpers. How's that there? This teeth. Yeah, that one. It's like a crackhead tooth. A tiny bit of it just broke from behind. I don't know what's going on. I think my bones are getting weak. Yeah, these are dental problems. Public dental. Saving up for a car. Don't have money for dental. Yeah, they won't let me drive again. It's a long story. Go like the video someday. Yeah, so... Yeah, learn to code. You just gotta fuck around and find out. And it's like fucking being in pre-med, you can't accidentally kill anyone. You fucking ruin your career too easily. It's pretty hard, actually. You fuck shit up, you can see it happen. Just write these programming languages, there's warnings. C++ is good at warnings. There's C++ check. You check your code, give you warnings, say if you're being a shit cunt. Rust is full of warnings. It's wonderful. It's deterministic memory management. And all the books that teach Rust need you to know the programming languages. Don't learn Rust. Not yet. So some neckbeard writes Rust for beginners. It's really good. There'll be people that never make an entire category of mistakes because it's deterministic memory management. Learn to code. I want to be a games developer. Any of this smart little smart ass that gets fucking good enter score in year 12, which means the university's more willing to accept you in Australia. In America, they have a grade point average, but it starts when you're like 7 years old or some shit for all I know. Hear about cunts in like middle school or whatever the fuck it is in America. My grade point average is only this. And here, actually, only year 11 and 12 counts. So I just raved the grade from year 7 to from about year 8 really to about year 9 and 10. I just didn't do anything at school because it doesn't add up to anything for me in the long run of life we're talking about. Don't worry about some score some uni thinks of it. You gotta use that. Mine's not even that good and I do pretty well. You use this, learn to code. You get these sometimes, use these, listen to people. Really on the computer, you're all doing this, and, there's these chatty people who never learn to code, hairdressers and stuff, Who needs a haircut? I haven't had one in a while. I'm liking the COVID look a bit. I don't need one soon. I don't know. I might do a bit. I usually cut it short and spike it up with a pomade and stuff. I don't care anymore. I shave. I have to shave all the time. I shaved yesterday. This is bullshit. This is getting old. Your cat likes it. It's good to have stubble to rub on your cat's head. You should make her a fucking shaver for that. Fucking Gillette cat. I don't know. The Gillette cat affection. I don't know. Cat fancier. The Gillette cat fancier. That's a good one. Yes, it's better with Gillette. I should fucking code it up. fucking engineers. Fucking make mechanical shit without code. Use computers. Just fucking use a GUI. They should just type it up in a terminal. No, electrical engineers who can spice open source software. One thing in code, like object-oriented language, you can make an object for a transistor, an object for a resistor. You make a basic circuit simulator a bit shit, and might not like. It might not do the physics properly, the mathematics to estimate the physics, shit. Yeah. You do stuff like that. You obviously do logic, create Boolean logic. A lot of my videos try to say everything true. Should tell some old stories and some bullshit ones. Make it a fucking scientific experiment, see which ones people believe versus control group. Yeah, learn to fucking code. Make me a fucking wagey. Make the neat pledge. Fucking do shit for Bitcoin. Hustle. Fuck. Have your neckbeard friends solve problems with a bit of coin. Reward friends with a bit of coin. You got code. Code. I'm doing some blogs about code on johntate.org. That's my website. YouTube doesn't want to have a real profile, so I can't really tell you about it easily. I'll just put it in the description of every video. And I just don't want to. I don't need people clicking on there. There's some good writings in the old days. There's a little web archive on my website. I fucking learned to code. So I code my website. A bit. Yeah, use the... So you recycle open source things on the web, and most of the web, especially all the important web, runs Linux. The Akamai service that you download Windows 10 from, Linux. Yes. Learn to code. And Linux is open source software, and the economics of open source software is not communism or something. It just has massive gravity. There's all these drivers and tools in Linux, and there's like Mezzanine that powers my blog. There's the Engine Extraverse proxy that connects you to that blog software. There's fucking the Debian operating system of that blog. I hate Debian. That's kind of ironic. JohnTate.org, my website, is a hacking game. You can crack that shit. My dick's on JohnTate.org. You can figure out how to find it. There was the hacking game. You get the flag you capture and prove to me you have it. It's just a photo of my dick no one's ever seen. That's a very rare thing with me. It's a big dick. That's my problem in life. These big Iron Man cheekbones. I just wore that shit when I was young. Yeah. It'd be cool if I was like an evil genius. A metal plate I wore here. It's like my skin, it's cool, but it's like just this red hot element. I burn my cheekbones into pretty people. Something I wonder about when I was young. Don't worry about that. Learn to code. Yes. What was I saying? It's just open source compose all. You just fucking learn heaps of it. I don't have to code up it. Like, I want to do something. Use WordPress, use MediaWiki, use fucking PHP, use SNF. These fucking people with game servers they play on, they pay for a Vision Power board or they're pirating it. I don't think they last pirating it opening on the internet. Business software piracy in Australia is just vehemently hunted down. You get a 50 grand reward if they're doing business piracy shit. Yeah. Don't do data entry. Don't plug in network cables and stuff like that. That's for people with the, what do they call it? The Southeast Asia. Like, you know, new to a country. It's good. I don't know, plugging stuff in. I guess robots can do it one day. Someone's got to do it. Don't you do it. Code. Yes. I mean, the trades are pretty good. You get paid well eventually. Maybe you're trained as well. I guess you depend on your own metal there. You know, it helps to be paid to learn something. Your little trade school for a bit. I don't know, a year or two. I can't fucking remember. I don't have anything against tradies. It's good money. You good work when you're on your own. As an apprentice, it's bullshit. It's degrading. Learn to code. Yeah. There's a new world in code, and it's kind of a free-for-all. We've got cryptocurrency. We've got everything sorted out for us. So we're the future. You know, there's all these dumb decisions politicians make. There's laws they talk about. I'm thinking it's just GPT-3 or some future version. There's just the GPT-3 has 140 or 180 billion parameters, like if statements in it, and conditions and shit it can do. And I've killed it. I have a friend who's a fucking scientist, literally works for the US government for Sandy National Labs. Did cool things like the Manhattan Project. And he told me once, there's basically a subsidiary of Lockheed Martin in his economic views. Learning to code, he does. He has a master's degree in software engineering. I don't know if he want to be named. He might. I don't know. He's not exactly a secret agent, man. Everyone knows he works there, but learn to code. You'd be like him. You'd be like me. I'm on the ass bottom of code. I don't know. I do it pretty well. I can just change a couple of lines and shit, and it does my thing. It's just wisdom knows. I'm an old cunt. Yeah. Learn to code. Learning to code. Books are the best way, and fucking around and finding out, like I was saying at the start. That's about it. And this is all these components and stuff. You just piece them together. They're other people's code. There's just fucking zillions of code out there. The computer just The hardware has like a zillion neckbeards in it, even the electronics. The circuit boards, they're laid out by code. They've got zillions of layers in them, and the circuit diagrams are completely different. And code just shits that out for them and stuff. And probably a bit of work there maintaining it, making shit out better circuit diagrams, newer kinds of circuit boards, chips and stuff. Circuit boards and microchips have makers marks in it. Your code can too. Learn to code. Yeah, code. Fuck around with other people's shit, piece shit together. You got game servers, Linux servers, web servers. My website, my business is very different from my Debian website. It uses Gentoo, which builds everything from code instead of downloading packages that are machine code that the CPU understands. It takes a lot of time to build Gentoo. It's extremely customizable. You can tell it how to do it in so many ways. Learn to code. There's nothing else. And I really think in 100, 200 years, you might be dead. You won't be some legend of code. You won't be some big part in the future. Everything's about fucking and having kids. There's this girl, and she might see this video. I don't know if she'll still be watching this one. But God, I'd love to fuck her pregnant. And that's another thing. Yeah. Don't listen to the Christians. Don't listen to fucking neckbeards into Ayn Rand's philosophy. Porn. They don't really have any porn. They have so much porn. Their porn has stories, and you ever seen vintage porn? Learn to fap, learn to fuck. Yeah, porn can be fun, technique in it. You push things to a new level. You're one of these fucking old cunts from fucking 80 years ago, these fucking fossils. Maybe it's just because they look fugly these days, little hot chicks and stuff once to themselves. I mean, if you like them big, doesn't mean you like them small, doesn't mean you like what? Learn to fuck, use your cock. I've been single for a while. I was a hard gay cunt on the Tinder scene. That's a problem, because none of the gay cunts learn to code. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. This is useless third Douglas Adams talks about. They definitely didn't learn to code, Telephone hygienists, hairdressers, stuff like that. Code will cut their hell under. Just sprinkling your nanites in it is sci-fi shit. It'll be much more traditional. I think it'll be much safer too, I think. Ever heard of barbicide? I used to use some like hairdressing stuff just to kill so many things. COVID and the haircut's just so hard, except barbicide already exists, so it really isn't. And the code. Learn to read. Learn to fucking read. Also, just a wizard at reading as a kid. I read a lot. I don't talk too well. I write quite well on my blog, johntate.org and all that, but Jesus. Fuck, can I talk, can't I? Yeah. Yeah, you know what else you should do? Fucking exercise. I'm a bit chubby, or like what? Weighed myself just yesterday. Weigh 84. Got dumbbells. I exercise. I got to 96 versus this fat cunt. I can do like 3 push-ups. I can do like 100 push-ups in a day easily without not be that worn out 10 minutes later. That's about to learn to fuck, but learn to code. It's really important. Just slouch in your chair, get really skinny. I'd code, have a PC, and smoke bugs all the time once. I was a bit crazy and useless. Fucking stuff I have up my brain anyway. Just, I'm brilliant even when they're full of some bullshit drug like marijuana. Drink coffee, learn to code. Drink coffee, code. Covfefe trumps coffee. I was out of a loony bin, and I was on Valium and Covfefe when he said Covfefe, and I think that's what he was having because he's pretty fucking nuts. Yeah, learn to code. Donald Trump definitely needs to just give up, maybe not learn to code, maybe donate all his money to code and do this thing I can't tell people to do on YouTube, I don't think. I think I get in trouble. Yeah, his code should stop running. And code can stop running itself. In QBasic, that was end. End. There's end if, there's end sub, then there's just end. Ends everything. Yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? I can't remember. I can connect that logically to anything at all and what Donald Trump, someone should do. Yeah, anyway, learn to code. See ya.